and good day to our wonderful viewers. You are welcome to the Poly TV show on Poly TV Ilaro, a show where we talk all things entertainment, education, and information. I am Moyoluwa Enitilo, and here with me today in the studio is
Abibat Rahim, and on today's show we'll be having the newspaper front page review, FPI agenda, and in FPI agenda we'll be discussing some information from the Directorate of Student Affairs.
And not only that, we've got quite other numbers of segments on the show yet. Today, we've got the center table where we're discussing with a really important guest on the student platform segment, discussing a very important topic with an important guest. We've got quite a number of things planned for us today on the show. So do well to stay put, do well to, stay tuned and do not move anywhere.
So before we dive into the show for today, we're going to go on a short break and be back with our front page review.
And welcome back. It is still your favorite show on your favorite TV station, the Poly TV show. And as we said before, we went on a break, we said that we're going to head straight into the newspaper front page review. And the first thing today, we're going to be reading from this day newspaper. We see that on the front page, we see that at last, federal government and Labour end weeks of feud set for 70,000 naira national minimum wage. Or last, federal government and Labour end weeks of feud, and they settle for the 70,000 naira minimum wage. We can see that finally there's an end to this scuffle and
I'm quite excited about
the back and forth of the minimum wage. I'm glad that they were able to reach a common ground. But do you think that this is a fair amount for the Labour workers?
I won't say it's quite fair, but I'm going to say it's the beginning of something, which actually shows the fact that Labour Party's voice was being heard and our government is actually being concerned about the nation.
Well, if you want to read much more on this and everything that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had to say concerning this, he said that he's being careful not to make mistakes in driving economy along with Labour. If you want to read much more on this news, be sure to pick up a copy of this day newspaper to read this news in depth.
So we have with us also in this day, concerns mount over retroactive taxations of bank profits in finance bill. Edun says no plan to reintroduce beverage tax.
Well, hopefully things do settle down and things get in place. But we see that Okebolo attacked in Benin, one dead as Edo government wants Shaibu. If you want to read much more on this news, you can find it on page 5 on this day newspaper. This is a really sad and disheartening news that someone had to lose their life in this scuffle. But hopefully things do settle down in Edo state government.
We have in the Daily Trust, we have JAMPEG's cutoff marked at 140 for varsities. The standards are quite low right now. What do you say about that issue?
Well, 140, I mean, obviously the institution do know what they are doing. I have full faith in the institution of this country, but I feel like it would be much better if it was, for me personally, if it was a bit higher. But of course, we see that they know what they are doing, and hopefully this allows for more people to be able to get into school, without looking at the cut-off mark being a criteria. So
I feel like it enables creativity. Because there are a lot of creative people that don't have quite the standard. So this is just bringing a down belt for everyone.
Yes, and still on Daily Trust newspaper, we see that stop blaming federal government for your failures. APC replies PDP governors. So we see APC telling the PDP governors that they need to stop blaming the federal government for their failures. Well, this is a very interesting take. But if you do want to read much more on this story, you can find it on page 11. Honestly, the never-ending saga between the All Progressive People Congress and the PDP. It's just, I mean, hopefully in the future we can see a much more cooperation between both parties. But right now we see that APC is telling the PDP governors to stop blaming federal government for their failures.
Also in Daily Trust, marketers to publish daily landing cost of petrol, which I see it brings room for transparency. Let people know what's going on, the amount of
I mean,
petrol.
with the recent hike in petrol, I believe that this is a good move. You know, it's really good. And still on the wages, we see Labour say why we accepted 70,000 naira minimum wage. So Labour Party, the Labour people they're going to be giving us in details why it is that they accepted that minimum wage. If you want to read much more on that, you can find it on page 4. We see that while under this news, we see some kicker that government must cut taxes for us to pay, says the private sector. Cultural allowances, Atiku and citizens tell lawmakers. So if you want to read in depth on this story, if you want to read much more what the Labour people are saying, you can find this story on page 5 on page 4 of the Daily Trust newspaper.
Also in this day, Kano politician Dan Biliki handcuffed flogged for criticizing Kaduna governor. That's quite exciting. I would see it on the standard of slander and defamation, but also in the justice and treatment. What do you have to say about that?
Well, you know, the way they do things in the north is quite different from the way they do things. It's probably something that has to do with under the Sharia. But anyway, in any case, I believe that the aggrieved party has learned its lessons, and hopefully there will be no repeat of such.
So if you want to get the news story, go to page 12 in this day.
All right, so moving on to Daily Sun. We see that Labour, still on the Labour news, we see that Labour opens up on agreed 70,000 naira minimum wage. They reach a truce with federal government. We see that Kalu comments all parties, but the federal government and, you know, the Labour. Hopefully that this new minimum wage is one that is abided by, and that, you know, it makes things much more easier for everybody, for both parties. And I'm really glad that the presidency came to a smooth conclusion after careful deliberation. This is a really beautiful and good move on behalf of them. Yes.
So also we have Labour films as police bar varsity workers from protesting in Abuja threatens major industrial action. So I also see it as police stepping in to curb protest, but also in their actions, the action was quite wild, and not really on the basic standard. What do you say about that?
Well, I believe that the police probably had a reason for stepping in. Maybe things were getting out of control.
Definitely.
But hopefully both parties were not hurt, and hopefully some form of agreement, some form of conclusion can be, because according to our constitution, we do have a right to protest. And while still on Daily Sun newspaper, we see that Atiku accuses NAS of supporting executive recklessness. He says executive legislature on Holy Alliance is compromising democracy. Atiku has quite a lot to say in today's newspaper, but if you want to read much more on that, you can find this news on page 26 of the Daily Sun newspaper.
Also in Daily Sun, we have federal government introduces new secondary school curriculum. I think that was expected, because the standard in secondary school has been something that has been going on, and I really think the new introduction of the curriculum is going to bring something more better in secondary schools. What's your say on that?
I think it's really nice. Hopefully with the new curriculum, new subjects are added in all across the country, not just in certain states, you know, subjects like maybe geography or history.
International relations also.
So, I mean, it's really beautiful. You know, education and learning is a wonderful thing, and it's nice to broaden the mind of the future leaders of the nation. So I see it as a win for the federal government. So far, federal government has shown that they are very intentional about the youth of this country, and it's a really beautiful thing. Just yesterday, they started to approve the student loans, and now today they are taking care of the secondary schools. I mean, it's a wonderful thing to see that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the youth at heart. We are definitely the future of tomorrow. While still on Daily Sun newspaper, we see that at SHIP, representatives offer half salary for 6 months, and they beg the masses not to embark on protests. This is still bordering on the old minimum wage issue, but hopefully now that the federal government has, you know, approved the 70,000 naira fee, we hope that things do get back into place, that people are paid their rightful money. You know, everybody just moves on from, you know, this little thing. But if you want to read much more on this news, you can find it on page 27 of the Daily Sun newspaper. Also
on Daily Sun, celebration in Bayelsa as appeal court confirmed Diri's election.
Oh, that's beautiful news. That's wonderful news. Moving straight on to the Daily Times, we can see that the news of the minimum wage made front page in every newspaper. We see the Labour accept federal government offer of 70,000 naira as new minimum wage. We see that they say the promise of a 3-year wage review by federal government particularly appealed to workers. So we're seeing it from the Daily Times that the federal government actually promised to review the wage after every 3 years. And I think that's a beautiful compromise, you know, because In 3 years' time, we do not know where the economy state of the country will be. Hopefully, it is
better.
Yes. And if it is better, then the citizens do deserve better. So hopefully, there is a rise or increase or, something beautiful as at that time. He also said Tinubu had to say why had to intervene in the negotiations. I believe that everybody is really happy that the president had to intervene in this negotiation because we got speedy remarks on time. But if you want to read much more on this, read out the 3-year wage review would go. You can find it on page 4 of the Daily Times newspaper.
Also on Daily Times, we have illegal mining. Military police not involved, CDS IGP tell reps, which is quite okay because the office of the military and the police is not majorly on illegal mining. So this is just them letting us know the right authorities to take control of cases like that.
Yeah, that's a beautiful step. That's a beautiful step. And still on Daily Time newspaper, I see a news that is quite heartwarming. On page 10, we see that House of Reps members agreed to reduce their salaries for 6 months to tackle hardship. That is a very commendable action by the House of Rep members. It means that they are quite in touch with the situation of the country. They know what is happening. Yes, and they are committed to actually making the country much more better. It is beautiful to see that they have agreed to reduce their salaries for 6 months to tackle hardship. We want to read much more on that. We want to see what the House of Rep members have to say, how they came to that conclusion. You can read much more of this on page 10 of the Daily Times newspaper.
Also on Daily Times, we still have JAMB release cut-off marks of 2024 to 2025 admission. And we also said the other time that it is a great improvement concerning creative students and them getting into varsities.
It is definitely. And I really can't wait to see how this plays out. It's going to be across all institutions. If certain institution we have certain marks, but hopefully everything pans out well. I feel like this is a really great initiative, coupled with the fact that there is now the effects of the student loan now in action. It's just,
it makes education more easier.
Yes, and accessible to virtually everybody. We're raising a literate society, and I really do love that. Yes, I do love that. Still on page 6 of the Daily Times newspaper, we see that federal government will complete inherited projects in spite of fund challenges, Umahi says. It says that federal government will complete inherited projects in spite of fund challenges. And I do see that is a wonderful proposal, because oftentimes we see that with the leave of one government and with the entrance of a new government, they oftentimes do not complete whatever project the past governance has started. Yes, but this is beautiful that the current federal government have decided that they are going to complete complete the projects. I mean, it makes for a loss of resources. That way we don't keep losing resources. That way we don't keep wasting resources. I think that's a really beautiful news. But if you want to read up much more on it, you can find it on page 6 of the Daily Times newspaper.
So moving on to The Guardian, we have here end of an era, reading culture suffers as legacy libraries rot and vanish in states. So I've been seeing issues of libraries just like rotting, and I feel like this is an issue of also announcements. Most states don't know that they have like federal libraries, accessible libraries, state libraries. So seeing the future of people, which is also dependent on education, see it rotting in libraries and shelves is quite sad.
I mean, well, hopefully with the way the present government are very much invested in education, I hope that something will be done. Because I mean, books are they are the bank of knowledge. I hope that they actually do cultivate the reading culture in these young minds. I mean, reading is fun. You would agree with me? Yeah, reading is nice, of course. And still on the Guardian newspaper, we see that the Senate introduces bill to establish federal agency for local government associations election. This is a wonderful news following the fact that the local government have gained autonomy from the state government. So I think this is a really beautiful news. You want to read much more on that, you can find it on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. And with this, we will be ending the newspaper front page review. We cut across a couple of conversations on today's news. We talked about the education segment, the oil segment, the
election segment,
financial segment, the election segment. So if you guys do want to read up much more on this news, you can pick up a copy of all the newspapers that we talked on: The Guardian, Daily Trust, Daily Sun, The Punch newspaper, The Vanguard, and read up much more on all this news yourself. And now we'll be heading into the next segment of the show, which is the FPI agenda, where we've got a really special, important person out here with us in the studio today to talk to us about, you know, various things that I hope that you're really excited and you're seated for. But before we dive into that, let's go on a quick break and we'll be right back.
Audio Jungle.
Welcome back. It is now that segment of the show, the FPI agenda, the show where we get all the information and, you know, educative content about things that are happening on campus. And as you know, that I'm never alone on the show. Today, I've got a very important, a very lovely person here with me in the studio, in person of the Deputy Registrar, Mr. Olusola Abiala. Welcome on the show today.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
It's nice having you.
It's a pleasure once again.
It's really nice. It's really nice to see you and have you on the show here today.
Thank you very much.
So thank you. And you know, today on the show we'll be having the week roundup of you know, various informations, various activities that has happened on campus over the course of the past week. So you know, are there any things that
There are lots to be discussed, but first of all, let me appreciate this station once again, especially the operatives. They are doing wonderfully well.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you
The
very
fact
much,
that is that you always unnerve us with your this thing. I hope that will not happen today.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, a lot of things happened. The roundup program for FPI agenda, we have to look at the various guests we've invited from last week, and then those that are likely to come next week. We also get you informed about the activities of the rector within the past few days. Where do we start? The rector was in Abuja to kickstart the public hearing on the transformation of Federal Polytechnic Ilaro to Federal University of Technology
Oh my
Ilaro.
God, that is exciting.
Yeah,
news.
we can recall that the bill for this program was moved by the senator representing Ogun West Senatorial District, distinguished Senator Solomon Olamilekan Adeola, popularly known as Yayi, moving the motion for the transformation of the Polytechnic into Federal University of Technology. So, after that, there was a lull, like nothing is happening until recently, and where the public hearing was instituted. At the public hearing was the rector, the deputy rector, admin, the registrar, and some other eminent personalities from the Polytechnic, where they were able to convince the two houses, of the need to transform the Polytechnic to a university. You agree with me that the Federal Polytechnic Ilaro has come of age with the modest startup in 1979 with about not even up to 100 students. Now with about 6 or 5 departments then. Now we have about 50-something departments now. And our student population hitting the 20,000 mark.
That's nice.
So all those things are the features. We have the infrastructures, we have the personnel. The rector said there that presently we have close to 60 or 70 PhD holders in the Polytechnic, and some are yet to come in.
Yeah.
So look at, we have a very large expanse of land that even 3 or 4 universities can be sited or situated on our campus. So
It's quite large.
So these are the conditionalities.
Yes.
And that I know that they've listened to it. I'm very sure the rector will be back next week to give a full details of this. So I want to stop it there.
All right.
Then again, during the past week too, there was this agitation on the new scheme of service. It raised a lot of concerns. I think I came here last week to discuss the communique issued by the COFA, the Committee of Federal Rectors, on it, and then in the usual magnanimity of the Mr. President, he has directed the suspension of the operation of the new service schemes until the grey areas are identified, until until those grey areas are looked into. So when that is done, we'll still be back to tell you more. Now I'm giving you all this so that before I go into what the agenda has been up till now, those who have come, those who are we expecting. And then, like you read in the newspapers about the cutoff
mark. Yes,
for
140.
Admission process starts with the policy meeting that the JAMB always have with provosts, rectors, and VCs of universities, where important decisions are taken, such as cutoff mark. But the mistake people will normally make is that is not the cutoff mark. That is the minimum marks, which anybody who scores above are eligible for admission.
All right.
Because by tomorrow you begin to see some people will be coming and say that after all they say 100 my daughter scored 120. It should be given. No. The cutoff mark will be decided institution by institution. They will look at the various number of students that applied into various departments, and they will use the marks obtained to set a benchmark. So that is why it is possible for you to see somebody in Aki scoring 159 and somebody scoring 220 will not enter a mass communication. But the public will say that after all 100 no sha pe àwọn sì gba 1 kílódé tí ó lè wọlé. So these are the little things we need to know. So institutions, from institutions to institutions, it depends. If we have 100 students or applicants in mass communication, and our carrying capacity is about 40. We want to begin to put certain things into consideration. The highest something, and the even subject, the UTME subject combination. Students, you people are clever. Somebody will go and write Yoruba, CRS, and can score high marks there, not minding the requirement for the subject requirement for that course. So that has been discussed, and most importantly, why I even invited somebody who will talk on it under the center table.
Yes.
The issue of age.
The issue of age. Federal government.
Federal government. You know, students, parents protested sort of during the policy meeting that in reaction to what the JAMB is the director or the chief executive registrar of the JAMB saying that henceforth the age requirement will be 18. 18. But parents are saying that it should be 16. That so and so. I won't talk on that because there's somebody who will trash that.
Yes, definitely. We have somebody that would treat that for us.
There are some other things, the new minimum wage, every other thing. Don't look at me.
The new minimum wage. I do want to ask you a question on that. I do want to ask you.
Ask your question.
So do you think it is fair, the new minimum wage? Do you think it is fair on both parties, on the labor workers and also on the federal government?
Fairness is a relative word.
Yes.
And how do you determine fairness? I don't think anything is fair. It depends on the angle from which you are looking at it.
I mean, I'm looking at
the mere fact that you are wrong does not make me right.
Okay. Well, I'm looking at it in terms of we know the way the economy is at this moment, and the recent hike in food, other materials.
Let me question the questionnaire. Are you now saying that 70,000 is small or is too high?
It depends on how you look at it also.
Okay, so all right. For me personally, I think that it is a common middle ground that both parties can try their best to adapt to. But I do think it could be a little bit higher. But the federal government did promise that they would review the wage after 3 years.
Yes.
So we can only hope and pray that after that 3 years.
Thank God that you view it from the higher angle. I thought you want to say that it's a bit lower.
I mean, a raise is a raise.
A raise is a raise.
Yes,
A raise is a
I would
raise.
have asked for you to study the economic indices, all those things surrounding it.
Yeah.
Even now, without the implementation of the minimum wage, we have been minimum waged by the marketers.
Yes,
by
we
the
are.
market. Yes.
Yes, that's
So
true.
everything, and you know, it is not everybody that is a civil servant. We are not all white collar
jobs, and
So
blue
people
collar jobs. Yes.
now, whatever, and it is not separate market.
Yeah.
Pepper, tomato, everything is gone up now. So I think the government and the labor, they've done a very good job.
Yes,
They've
yes.
done a very
I
good
do
job.
share that
Kudos to them
sentiment
for
too.
that.
Yes. Because if some people are clamoring for 62 and some people are clamoring for 250 and they were able to manage. Me, I was thinking arithmetically that we just add 62 to 250 and you divide it by 2. So two of them
To
are
make it
yes,
fair.
to make it. But that is not how to look at it.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
We have this. We share the same sentiment.
Oh,
I
that's
do
okay.
believe. I
That's
stick
very
with
good.
that. Yes.
Yes,
This is quite nice.
that's that about that. Now the FPI agenda. You know, last week the two deputy rectors were here. One discussed the green agenda of the Polytechnic, that is the landscaping. You know, one thing that will attract you when you get to the Federal Polytechnic Ilaro is our greenness.
Yes,
Yes.
the lawn is
We
beautiful.
have a culture
The trees and
of
flowers.
beautiful lawn and
Yes,
flowers and some other things.
Yes, definitely.
So when you just come in, I thought that lawn maintenance and whatever is cheaper.
Oh.
But with the explanation, I am a green person.
Oh, you're a
because
green person.
my compound, I planted grass there. So,
like
but
horticulture.
maintaining it,
It's a lot of work.
I spent, especially during this rainy season, I spent a minimum of 7,000 per 2 weeks.
Is it that vast?
Of course, to cut it.
to pay the workers to cut it.
Something.
And
Despite the fact that
rain, it grows faster.
yes, despite the fact that I have lawnmower.
Lawnmower.
Assuming I'm going to borrow lawnmower, you know what it costs.
Oh, definitely much more
I buy
expensive.
petrol, I buy oil, and then the man
Even
doing
pay for
sweating.
servicing and all of
And
that
some
too.
other things.
Yes.
But one thing I enjoy is that they said even cutting that grass, the oxygen or whatever we emit from it is medicinal.
Yeah.
So I like staying with them.
So you
When they
inhale.
are doing-
Oh, so you inhaling.
Oh, I get
So
that now.
that was on the side of the first guest. Then the next was the academic deputy rector in charge of academics, who talked to us about the various programs we have, and that even presently that additional 11 courses were added across all schools into our curriculum. She even told us that there is a plan in the pipeline for the introduction of School of Art and Design.
That is wonderful.
In fact, I wanted to tell her, see, why not call it School of Creative Arts?
Oh,
Because
that
so
sounds standard.
so many other departments,
Creative
related
arts,
departments
yes.
will be there.
Theater arts,
Theater
arts and
things like
design,
that and that.
filmmaking,
See,
cinematography.
now,
Oh, that's wonderful.
You can see why the rector and the registrar and others who went were so confident to say that we are ripe enough for university.
Definitely, we are ready.
We are more than
Our
ripe.
credentials are quite full.
We're ready.
So then we had the agro man.
Yes, we did.
Agropreneur,
Agropreneur,
agro-services or whatever.
yes, we did. Yes,
You
we
see,
did.
even before then, there was a launch some times ago where the rector and the deputy went to hostels to do this green environment, that they should plant not just flowers and something, edibles. You can plant pepper, you can plant orange, you can plant something within your distance. In fact, we are even advised that even in our house, instead of all these flowers, plant edibles. Plant tomatoes, plant pepper,
vegetables.
and some other things.
Potatoes,
After all, it will
things
give you
like
the green environment you are looking for.
Yes.
And at the same
It
time,
will
It's feeding
give you
you.
food.
food you.
It's feeding you.
So that is that. Then the agropreneur man came to tell us that they have it in the pipeline that they want to make food stuff, the essential food stuff,
Yes,
affordable and available to students
and
especially.
staffs, yes.
Students especially.
Yes.
Because you are the one staying within this place.
Yeah, and make
If
things easier
you
for
could
us.
you could get a bunch of effort for 100 naira.
200, 100 naira.
Whereas you get it 200, 250 at Orita. You know, the closer you move to the Polytechnic, the expensive things are. Price tomato at Orita. Go to
In fact, you can't even,
Library
you
Junction.
You can't even
Go
price
to Igboro. Go to Okela. It will be reducing.
Yes.
But the more you come, it is because of the population. The higher the demand, the higher the price. When so many people are demanding
Clamoring
for
for
something.
it, yes,
So
yes.
the man talked about how it's going. Even they want to be converting or turning the chickens into frozen something
chicken,
so that
yes.
you can buy it.
They talk about eggs too.
Eggs
I
too.
believe, yes.
And then
Poultry farming.
I
Poultry
even discussed with him that there's what we call student edition. Instead of selling in kilo, why not just put it in nylon something, and from price ranges.
Yes.
Portions.
Yes,
Different,
portions.
yes,
If
yes.
I have 200 naira and I want to eat chicken, even if it is the nail of the chicken, I think chicken are chicken.
Chicken is chicken.
Yes. As
It's
well as
the
I'm eating
flavor.
protein.
Yes.
The flavor that you need.
So then the other the station we were unable to have Monday, Tuesday, but we had on was it Thursday that which director came? Akinleke,
Yes,
the
Mr.
dean, School of
yes.
Management
Studies, yes.
he came and discussed about the activities of the largest school
in the Federal
Polytechnic. I heard him saying that there are 11
departments now, yes.
in
They
that
had
school.
3 more added.
And out of the 11, I think only 2 are not running at HND levels. The remaining are running at HND levels, and he said that the student population is about
I think
10 or 9,000.
9,000.
Yes.
That's huge.
That's huge.
That's huge. So
that's huge.
he talked about that and some other things. Actually, we're supposed to have the dean, School of Part-Time Studies, Barrister Akeem Olugbolahan Daudu, on that day, but because of the little issues we have. We also we expected to have as our guest on Tuesday the dean, School of Environmental Studies, JB Awolese. But we've rescheduled some of them.
Yes. We'll still have them.
We still have them. So on Monday, we are likely to have the Dean, School of Communication and Information Technology.
Oh, my
dean. We are likely to have him, and on Tuesday, we are likely to have Dean, School of Pure and Applied Sciences. And then we want to see how we can bring those who missed their own editions into it. I think we want to say that is that.
I mean, from what we've heard, you know, our able man in charge say, we have back to back, you know, important personnel lined up for this FPI.
Is that your back to back up to 7? Back to back.
This
is a lot.
Personnel. We have. I mean, if you listen, like I listen, we have a long list of people to come on the show. So you know, what does that tell you? It tells you to stay tuned to FPI TV, to stay tuned to Poly TV show, so you can make sure that you do not miss, you know, any of the days. It could be your din, it could be my, it could be, you know, somebody that you want to see. So you know, be sure that you know you're tuned in, that you're staying in. I mean, we've learned a lot from this week roundup. You know, we've learned about the landscaping of the school. We learned about the academic section of the school. We learned about the agripreneurship, agro-services. I'm sure that would make a lot of people happy. Especially the way to happiness is sometimes through our stomach.
Especially this number, what is that?
I mean, she's already wearing green, so you know she's.
Wow, I stand for the nation.
So you know that
is
nation and food. so you know we had quite a lot of things, you know, today on this week roundup. It was really amazing having you here in the show.
Thank you very much.
Every time you come, I learn new things. It's always it's always amazing to have you here on the show.
Thank you very much.
So, and we are sure that you know much more will have you much more subsequently
definitely.
on the show. Especially
don't scare me away with a question.
Well, we won't.
Definitely more.
Wait, I promise that we'll try not to.
Okay.
Not to scare you away too
because
much.
the moment your mouth begins to
We'll try not to scare you
Thank
away
you
with
very
the
much.
questions. Right, but thank you so much for honoring us and coming on the show.
You're welcome.
It was wonderful. And if you guys want to, watch more of FPI Agenda, you want to see much more of our, Amiable Deputy Registrar in person, Mr. Olushola Abiola, be sure to tune in to Poly TV show on Poly TV. Where the YouTube channel is. Be sure to watch. Be sure to share. Just do all of that nice stuff. And now we'll be heading into the next segment of the show, the center table, where we have the important person that he talked about. So you need to stay tuned.
You have to.
Don't skip. We have the important person he mentioned that's going to be coming on to talk to us about, a very, very important topic, like you mentioned, that affects all of us as students. So, stay tuned. Do not leave. We'll be right back.
Audio Jungle.
Back to Poly TV, Ilaro, and now we are at the center table where we'll be discussing campus updates and the gist going on the campus. And I can assure you that this is going to be a very good banter, whereby I'm going to be discussing with Moyoluwa on campus updates. So yesterday, we had the VP.
Yes, we did have the VP. It was an amazing one on the show.
About the
Comrade
SUV.
Shofoluwe, she came, she
Pretty
spoke,
lady,
very pretty lady, by the way, may we say. She came, she talked to us about the SU week that is coming up.
Yeah.
She actually listed that in the whole week, we have like various activities.
Yeah, she
I
did.
believe on Monday we have the trade fair,
And hostel day
and
for the
hostel-
hostelites.
I am so excited for the trade fair. I don't even know if I'm going to be getting anything, but I can't wait to see where the trade fair will hold. Going there, buying things
At cheaper prices.
at cheaper prices
Very cheap
too.
prices.
So you can get your money ready. Your little 5K, your little 10K for the odogus, your little 100K to go to the
I feel
trade
like
fair.
I'm too excited for the rag day. Just the experiences, the fun.
See people,
Most
I don't
especially
know.
the outfits.
The outfits are
Honestly.
one. I mean, I don't know if I don't think I would be participating,
participating,
in
I'll
the
be
rag
watching.
day.
I'll be watching.
But
from a distance.
I will be watching, okay? I will be watching. I can't wait. People get creative actually with the whole rag day. You see someone realize,
Honestly.
are you sure you don't deserve to be
So what about departmental
locked up?
days?
I'm excited for departmental day. I don't know if I'm excited for faculty day. I may be a little bit biased, but I think my department, we
I
are
feel like
extra.
just in your
So.
department, there is this like familiarity.
Yes, and you feel
are
more
quite
at
comfortable.
home. Yes,
Exactly.
yes, there is that. So I'm excited for that. For the main SU day, I think I just want to know who the artist is.
She didn't tell us who the artist was.
I begged her, you guys. You guys saw me beg her. I begged her better. I really want to know who it is. Like, is it A-list celeb? B-list celeb?
But I just feel like by our conversation with her yesterday, I
Yes,
feel like
yes.
it's definitely going to be somebody quite huge.
Yes, definitely, because
by our standards.
Our lips were so sealed. There was nothing that I did not beg her
But trust
with.
me,
you
when we
guys.
wait, we'll bring it here first.
You get it here first on center table on campus. Just trust me to give you guys the tea. Also, they we do have. I think she talked about the final of the SU Cup, if I'm being correct.
Yes, I think probably that's I think Friday. Yes, that's
So
Friday.
will you be going to the field?
Definitely.
You find me
I
on
missed
the
all
field.
the drama.
You find.
All the drama. I'm not a big fan of football, but when it comes to Polyfield and football, I'm a big fan.
I mean, it's always entertaining. It's
and the
always,
food, it comes with food.
It comes with food.
There's
too.
free food, though.
It comes with food. It does come
and
with
the excitement
food.
and meeting new people and socializing.
Yes, actually, for people that are not that social, that's a great way to socialize, to network, to meet people. So it's really fun. It's really amazing. And if you guys know that you want to, you can see us. You can come along to that day.
One thing about
If you see us, be sure to say I.
One thing about the SU week that really makes me excited is it makes you expand your circle based on things like you don't even expect. Like you can just be walking randomly and someone's like, "Oh, I like your outfit. You look so good." Then all of a sudden, you guys just like click. If it's on a
And
normal
it's like,
day,
and then they ask you, "Oh, are you going to the field?" Yes, I'm going to the field too.
let's go together.
You
From
guys
each
just walk
department.
together. Yes. I feel like the SU Week is a really great initiative. It helps to breed socialization and familiarization between students. I mean, because academic is tough. Let's not lie. Academic is tough and draining.
All work and no play.
Yes, makes Jack and Jill dull people. You've studied for like the whole semester. It's just like, all right, just take this 1 week, chill, rest. Have fun.
Rest too much. Oh.
I mean, yes, definitely. We did talk
Don't
about
rest too
examination
much.
yesterday as well. So please do not
In
rest too
every
much.
joke, let there be seriousness.
Yes, do not rest too much, but you know, have fun.
Speaking of academics, she also made mention of a symposium coming up.
Yes.
That she doesn't know if it's going to be by department or faculty. So concerning your work and education, please don't forget about the symposium.
Yes, and also mark your calendars. We've got the symposium. She also mentioned the debates that will be happening, either inter-school or inter-faculty, I believe. And while we do not know the exact details about everything would run, we do know that that is happening really soon. And, you know, you guys should just mark your calendars, make sure that you're ready, stay prepared, okay? Stay ready, stay prepared. You guys need to, you know, make sure that you're ready. It's not just for the fun aspect. School is fun, school is educative, school is entertaining, and that's what we are all about on Poly TV show in Poly TV Ilaro. So, you know, anything else you want to tell them before we round up this session?
Nah, I think I just made my fact on the academics.
Oh, yes, definitely. Definitely. And now reaching us now, we see that there is an important news flash that needs to air. We've got our correspondent on the site of the incident. We would take this break to look at the video and look at what it is that we've got for us right now.
The security agent confirmed to Poly TV Ilaro that his body has been retrieved and promised further investigation into his death. Omolara Sonyaolu reports that Sunday, who was a shoemaker and dealer in leather materials, was found dead in his shop, in what residents suspected to be a tragic case of suicide in his shop. The sad incident, which occurred on Wednesday, 17th of July, threw the people of the area into shock and mourning. His body was discovered early in the morning when concerned neighbors noticed that something was wrong. According to residents of the area, the deceased shoemaker reportedly locked himself in his shop and hanged himself. Some of them who spoke on condition of anonymity said Sunday had been struggling with emotional issues for the past 3 years. Sunday was said to have locked himself in the shop after resuming to attend to customers and was never seen afterwards. On the day before his death, he was said to have asked one of his neighbors for a loan of 30,000 naira, who could not help him with the money. Those who knew him described Sunday as a churchgoer who had been battling family issues and was always in a moody state before his death. The chairman of the Shoemakers Association in Ilaro, Olusoji Shoritire, confirmed that Sunday had been dealing with serious family problems. He said Sunday relocated his wife and children to the village due to economic pressure. His wife had been pleading with his neighbors to convince Sunday to bring them back to Ilaro as conditions in the village were not conducive. Efforts were being made to find a shop for the wife for her to return to Ilaro before the sad news. As members of the community mourn the death of Sunday, they lament the pressure that could have led to his tragic death. Samuel Olaniyan reporting for Poly TV Ilaro. So we've tried to talk to people around about the incident that happened today here in Ilaro, that's library. And so far we have various versions of what really transpired, and we've been able to talk to one or two people, and you can hear what they said.
I didn't see him this morning anyway. Though he stays opposite my shop. But what really happened was, as soon as I came back from church, I opened my shop. So then when I finished, I was just trying to make sure that things are in order in the shop. All of a sudden, I just hear people start shouting, hey. I say, what happened? I thought maybe it's an accident within the road. So when I came out, as soon as I get in, I found out that he's already in the shop, hanging himself. So that's just the little I can say. Though some people we are alleging, saying that they saw him this morning, that he went to Igboro to go and barb his head and all the rest of it like that, then before coming back. So that's the little I think I can say for that incident.
Last week, I go to his shop, and because I'm using the materials that he's selling, because I'm shoemaker by profession, you understand, and the chairman of a shoemaker association in Ilaro here, we do buy materials from his side, but each time I reach there, I will just see him moody. The which I don't know reason why. What's the matter? I say, I don't tire, I won't go back village. once I said all this market I have finished, I'm going back village. What's the matter? He said, I have family problem. Your family problem as well. You see your children or your wife. I be extended family. You say my extended family. That I always bring money to your place, send for my children. I say, okay, what's the matter? I say, family matter. At least maybe you know what is killing my brother over, because one of his brother died also, but that one is not as it is. At least let's say 8 years ago. Is that his brother that took him to Ilaru? Because the brother that's selling that materials before, he just followed his brother down to Ilaru. When the brother died, he now pick up the materials, selling them. And then when I arrived this morning, I heard that he's already died. I got there, I opened the shop, I saw him inside that he's already died also. But you have not seen more than that.
Right from the time when wife gone for years, so the man start behaving somehow. He's not divorced, the wife just go home, go and start to do farm. So the man is so alone for years, even though he be like saying inside shop in the sleep. This morning, I see the man as I'm coming this shop for here. So I greeted him. So when I was shop here, so somebody come and call us, says their son is dead or something like that. So as I reached there, so I can't see the man. So I'm the only one who opened the door. So the man is already hanging himself for the shop. So I can't ask them, their neighbor for there. He said that him come buy pure water for their place. So he drink only one, he leave only one. So people, so me, I'm annoyed. I just come shop, come and steal. So later people come gather, so I can't go there. So police come carry the motor come. So they say how to go carry him out. Nobody go green go. Me and the divine grace. So as I reach there, I take Rosa Bridge. I come out, I tear the road, carry a put for ambulance.
All right, we are live and direct at the the venue of the incident that just happened here in Ilaru, and we're told that a particular man, Sunday by name, committed suicide, by hanging himself. And Poly TV crew was here to capture the scene of what happened. As you can see, this is the man's This is the man's shop where he's into leather sales as well as he sells leathers, materials, shoemaking material and all that. So, and apart from the information we also got from people here, we're told that the man early this morning was seen around making some some strange moves and trying to we don't know what preempted his action. But as we speak to you now, the members of the Nigerian Police Force, Ilaru Division, as well as Amotekun and other security agencies have been here this morning, and they've taken they're taking the corpse of the man away for the necessary investigations. It happened somewhere around library area. That's not very close to the library junction here. It's what we call Yala Junction here in library in Ilaru. We really cannot say ascertain what really happened. But notwithstanding, this is a clarion call for you or not to please avoid killing yourself. Suicide is never the option.
And welcome back to the show. As we've seen and as we've heard from our correspondent that was on site, that was a very, very tragic incident. We do hope that the family of the bereaved, they actually do take heart. If you're struggling with anything, if you're going through anything, as students on campus, I believe we do have a counselor that you could talk to if you're going through something. And even as a civilian, I believe that there are people in your life that you could definitely talk to. Please, please, please open up. Please speak up. Suicide is never the answer. Suicide is never the.
There is a saying that says suicide is a temporary solution to a permanent problem.
Yeah.
So meaning that even
after
is
a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
Yes. So that even after ending it all, it doesn't mean the problem has stopped.
And you could and speaking up helps. Okay, if you talk to a trusted person, it doesn't matter what issue you're going through. Just try to speak up and
make yourself happy.
That was a really, really sad mood, and we hope that the deceased does rest in peace. And with that, we'll be signing off on the campus update on Center Table, and we'll be moving straight into the next segment where we'll be meeting with Dr. Esra Mohammed. He has come to discuss quite informative piece with us on the Poly International College. Am I right?
Yes.
So, you know, you could stay tuned for that. Definitely do stay tuned for that. We'll go on a quick break, and when we're right back, we'll have Doctor in the house with us. Poly TV show on Poly TV Ilaro, and like as I said before we went on the break, I did say that we're going to have a very important person in the studio here with us today, and we have the board chairman in person of Dr. Esra Mohammed of Poly International College. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Mui. Thank you, Abibat.
Yeah, it is a great privilege to have you here today on the show. It is really amazing. Can we meet you, please? Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, about who you are?
My name is Dr. Esra Mohammed. I'm a chief lecturer in the Department of Accountancy of this Poly, and currently the board chairman of the Poly International College, and that is why I'm here.
Oh, yes.
The college.
Yes, definitely.
All right, thank you.
And you mentioned that you obviously occupy two important positions in Polytechnic, being the board chairman and also a lecturer. How do you juggle, you know, I assume that it's a very tasking office. So, you know, how do you juggle both? How do you handle one that, you know, in a way that one does not suffer for?
You know, as a board chairman, you only go there once in a while when you meet, when you have meetings. But however, as regards academic activities, it has nothing to do with that because I go from lectures when I have my lectures.
Okay,
so
sir.
There's no clash of responsibility.
Okay, sir. So I have a question. So the essence of us calling you here
All
is
right.
concerning the Poly International College.
All right.
So recently we've been seeing that there have been some advancements and great achievements in Poly International College.
Of course,
even
yes.
the name says it's International College.
College.
So can you give us just like a brief update on the advancement that are going on and also plans that you have, because I know this is just the beginning.
Oh yeah,
All right,
definitely.
all right. In actual fact, the college was established in 2006, and that was when Dr. Loyo was the rector, and I was actually the Polyconsult director.
Oh, wow.
So the school started with 28 students, with 5 teachers. And as of now, the population of the school is about 500.
Wow.
While the population of the staff is over 60. I think presently 63.
That's nice.
That's
Yes.
wonderful.
We have hostels for both females and males. I think the population in the hostel now is 78.
That's
So we have both junior school and senior school.
Yeah.
So we have a principal for the senior school, that is Mrs. Arsi Akilolu, and a principal for the junior school, that Reverend Abioye. So the school started with a block at primary school. We started using primary school and using staff of the Polyconsults as teachers. That was in 2006. But now, the development has actually moved ahead.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
The new development in that school, because we came on board last year, February. I became the board chairman last year, February.
Wow, that's nice.
So when we came on board, what we first did was actually to install solar installation
Oh, wow,
at
that's a
the
huge
hostel.
one.
Yes, at the hostel. So the hostel enjoys 24/7 electricity.
Wow.
Yes.
Quite jealous.
I am
All
jealous.
right. So apart from that, we also have what we call computer units there, where we train our students.
ICT.
ICT center, and we have e-library too.
Wow.
Yes, we have e-library. The recent development, which you came this week, was not on Monday?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it was on Monday. We laid a foundation of a block of 5 classrooms. So last week, Thursday, the PTA also laid a foundation of art studios for the students and home economics.
Oh, wow.
So
That's
on
wonderful.
Monday, we laid the foundation for a block of 5 classrooms, 3 for those in sciences, especially the senior SS1 science, SS2 science, SS3 science, and 2 for those in SS2 arts and commercial, SS3 arts and commercial. In that block 2, we have the senior principal's office and the senior staff room within that block, which by His grace, in September, we shall invite the rector of the institution to come and commission that building.
I mean, that is going to be huge when it happens. That is going to be huge.
Yes.
I'm anticipating.
And, you know, one question that I want to ask is concerning, you know, exams, WAEC exams and, you know, JAMB exams. You know, I'm really curious, what is the success rate like for students in Poly International College?
In fact, the success started when we started writing WAEC.
Wow.
The first set of students, I said we started with 28. That was in 2006. And in 2012, they also start for WAEC and NECO. We recorded 100% success.
Wow.
Yes. Yes.
That is huge.
Yes.
That is huge.
And subsequently, we have actually been recording successes in WAEC and NECO. In fact, we have many of our students who have actually graduated. Many of them have actually gotten their masters. So we are actually progressing.
That's quite nice.
So we have actually won so many prizes, academic prizes in French, in mathematics, in English. We have represented this area too. And I think we have just started.
Well, meaning that the standard of the college is as high as the Polytechnic itself?
Yes, because in fact, about 5 or 6 years ago, some of the teachers were actually absorbed into the system. They are also lecturers here.
Lecturers now?
Yes, some of them. So, some who were teaching English language, Greek science. I could remember one Mr. Ogusheton. He was actually in the college. He's now in Agri Science department. I think the acting HOD, I wouldn't know. Then one Mrs. Jesus Shino. She's in SAT. She was formerly in the school as a teacher. We have, what is it? Adegboye. She's in computer science. We have many of them.
So
they absorb them into
not
the
only
system.
the success rate for the students, but also the staffs as well.
Yes.
Oh, that's
So they are graduates. We have the vice principal the vice principal administration in the senior school. It's a PhD holder.
Wow.
Dr. Odu.
I mean, that
It's a PhD holder.
I mean, that goes to show that the you know, the future of the students are in great and assured hands.
Yes, of course, because we have qualified teachers there. Yes.
Okay, so sir, there's something I'm very curious about.
All right.
In our FPI agenda, we had Mr. Abiala, the deputy registrar. So he mentioned something about the new age range for universities now.
All right.
That is age 16.
Age 16.
Yes.
16.
So we really need to get your say, because he couldn't give us like in-depth, because you are going to give us the in-depth, like you said.
I mean, not really him is giving up, but you could also tell us, because, I mean, you're in charge of the secondary school student as well. I feel like we just want to ask, do you think that age 16 is an appropriate age?
Yeah, well, it is going to affect some of these students because, you know, we don't admit a child who is not up to 10 years old. Yes, into secondary school.
Okay.
And before a pupil or a student will graduate, maybe 5 plus 10, that is 15 or 16. So by writing JAMB, writing WAEC, a student will wait for 1 year. So if you are saying that, okay, you want to peg the age, it is going to affect them, and it is going to actually reduce the intakes too. So I think the government is not yet, they have not finalized this issue. Yes, no, it is not speculation, though it was the Minister of Education that actually raised it, and we believe that this may not actually work, especially in this era.
I mean, we can all hope that the government will revisit this issue and hopefully, you know, come to a much more better conclusion. And, you know, something that I also wanted to ask is, you know, in regards to the success rates that I asked earlier about the students, I wanted to, because there is Poly International College and the Federal Polytechnic Ilaro. So are there like, you know, like any like direct link of, oh, once you're done with secondary school education in the college, you know, come straight into the Polytechnic?
Well, it is not automatic. There are opportunities for them to actually come into the poly. But you will see that many students, they are aspiring to go into the master's. They have opportunities to actually go into various schools. But however, we still have many of them actually coming into the poly because of the environment they are used to it. So that is it.
Okay, so sir, I want to ask you, in the next like 5 years or 6 years, like how advanced do you see Poly International College? Like how large? What are like? Because I know there are greater things in plan.
There are so many things we have in plan in terms of bringing in students outside this country, because we call it international college, and we are working on that.
Oh, like exchange? Is it like an exchange program?
You know, for now, we can see that the students there are within Lagos or Ogun. So, being an international college, we are expecting to have students from Ghana, students from Republic of Benin, students from Cameroon. We are working on
other
that.
Neighboring countries.
Yes, neighboring countries, so that we can actually have this international status or elements. So that is what we are working on. And we are getting there. By His grace.
On the event of the foundation link, I heard something that actually like caught my ears. I heard about like bringing curriculums concerning creativity, like in creative arts, on how that Poly International College does not only like, it's not only based on like normal curriculum. It's a kind of school that brings out like creativity in students, not only like in science, also arts, bringing up, trying to build up like a kind of like
their creative
room,
parts,
like to bring out their creative parts, not only being like standard in education, but also like being great in creativity. So what are the plans put in place towards that?
Presently, the students are actually being taught in that line, where you see students in the art class, see them in the home economics, Kampala, they are being trained, and you will see them producing such tie and dye, and some other activities like that, which our students are actually involved. And when they get to our institution, it will not actually be difficult to them, for them. And even if after graduation they want to stand on their own, they can also actually stand and become entrepreneurs on their own. So we have started really doing that as well.
I mean, like that, you're setting them up for a standard future. I mean, even if, you know, maybe all else fails, whatever it is that they've learned, the skills that they've learned will actually...
They can become employers of labor. They can become employers of labor, not employees. That is what we're actually training them for.
That's beautiful. And because our time is far spent, I just want to ask you one final question.
All right.
So in a couple of words, how would you present Poly International College for a prospective parent?
Yes, I want to actually assure parents that this is a very standard school. I have 5 children, 5 daughters. It is only the first one that has not actually gone through that school. Yes, I have 4 of them passed through the place. Oh, wow. And 2 are already, one has actually gotten the master's.
Wow.
The second one has actually done the postgraduate. Wow. And the third one is actually graduating from UNILAG this year.
That's nice.
Then wonderful. The last one is in 200 level at Covenant University and is doing well. Wow. She's going to write a accounting technician scheme in September. So she's in 200 level. Just to actually let parents know that even
your kids,
my kids, they pass through that.
So it's not just
and
all talks.
I am proud of them.
Yes,
I'm proud of them. So my second one did cybersecurity. Yes, in the United Kingdom.
Wow.
All right. So pass through that
system.
So I want to assure the parents that yes, once you bring your child or children or works there, you are assured of a high quality education, high standard, because we don't have any teacher who has not gotten a first degree in that school.
Yes. So, you know, parents, you know, you can be rest assured that you're getting the absolute best for your kids. You're putting them through the absolute. I mean, as said by the chairman himself, we've heard of his own personal testimony now, not even of other people from his own experience.
Another thing is that that school, I named that school Poly College, Poly Staff College, because it was why when I was in the Poly Council, that school was established.
Oh, wow.
I see the idea.
I see the idea. That is
In fact,
lovely.
Mr. Bala, who just left here, his child or children also passed through that place.
Wow.
And he should be proud of that school.
Oh,
I
definitely.
feel like I
Yes.
missed out on not attending.
Or
that
not,
college.
because now I'm...
Yes, you have missed a lot.
Yeah,
You
now
have
I'm
missed
like,
a lot.
oh my God,
You have
it's
to-
too late to go
But
back
it's
now.
not too late. It's not too late. You can
I
actually...
recommend my younger ones.
Yes, your
Oh, yeah,
younger
definitely.
ones,
Well,
your younger ones.
younger ones,
And
yes.
you will be glad you did.
Of course,
All right.
of course.
Thank you so
Well,
much.
thank you so much for coming on the show. I have learned a lot, and I believe that everyone also watching has learned one or two. If I have my kids, hopefully Poly College is still standing.
Yes, of course.
I'll be sure to send them. Like, you go to that school, it's a great setup. If the foundation is not well built, there's no how anything else can, grow on it. And we see that Poly College is the right foundation for your kids. So if you are interested in, sending them, you can come over to the school, make inquiries, make sure you bring your kids to the school. You also want to be part of this success, 100% success rate, am I right?
Yes, of course.
So, you could come over and do that. So thank you very much, sir.
You are welcome. Thank you.
It was an amazing time. I didn't know all of this about
The school.
Yes.
Well, were you there Monday? No, you were not there.
I wasn't.
you
I
were not
wasn't. I
there.
was in another
Okay.
assignment.
I wish you just visit the place.
I wish I was. I did watch the video. It was.
The vlogs are quite nice.
All right.
It was really wonderful. So we were really grateful for
Thank
that.
you so much.
I
And
believe that most students are
before I
like it
leave,
now.
we have to appreciate the rector. That
Yes,
is
definitely.
Dr. Emi Akinde.
We are so grateful
he's,
to
he's
him.
supportive of that college.
Definitely.
And he has so many things, so many good things for that college.
It's obvious that he's a man that has the interest of the youth and the students at heart, and that is very, very commendable. That is very commendable. So we're really grateful to our amiable, wonderful rector. We are so thankful for the program, for the opportunity to have you here on the show, for everything he does for the station and for Poly College itself. We're really so thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
And Moyin.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All
Thank
right.
you very much.
Thank you.
We're not still done on the show. We still have one more segment and one more important person to come on the show and talk to us. And after this, we'll be going there. But before we do that, let's go on this quick break. Thank you.
Ìsàsìnṣó lẹ́yẹ oníkàkí tẹ́lẹ̀
It is now onto the segment that we talked about earlier in the FEI agenda. We have with us today in the studio our special guest in person of Mr. BJ Odetunde. He's here to talk to us about federal government lowering the age of admission to 16. Yes. So good day, sir. It is lovely to have you here in the studio with us.
Good day to you.
Good day, sir.
Odetunde Basir Jima,
Okay.
Deputy Registrar, Special Duty.
Okay.
At the Federal Protected
All right, that's wonderful. Well, just going straight into what we have to discuss today, we see that federal government has lowered higher institution entry age to 16 amid public pressure. We see that certain parents and students were clamoring for the age to be reduced from 18 to 16. So, we just want to ask you, what is it that you think about this age reduction? Do you think it's do you even think 16 is an appropriate age for a student to enter higher institution? Seeing as our institution is like the place for the big kids.
Yes, the large place.
A large place. So do you think that 16 years is a appropriate age, a good age for a student to, get into our institution?
And thank you very much for this beautiful question.
Thank you.
Actually, before I can make a stand on this kind of question, based on my background in admission, as an former admission officer,
Yes, sir.
As an examination officer too,
Yes, sir.
and my background as an economist. So you cannot just, when a topic issues of this nature are discussed, you have to be logical and analytical in whatever you want to do.
Yes, sir.
And I thank God the government we have today, they have listening here.
Yeah.
This idea was mooted by somebody
Yeah.
that I think the only reason why they said it should be jacked up to 18
yeah.
was just on maturity issue.
Okay.
So maturity, there are a lot of things. Maturity is not only by age,
Yes.
sir.
actually.
Yes, yes.
So, but it is a general belief that when you are below 18, you are not another
you're a child.
you are a child. But why I say it should be logically looked into and analytically looked into is that my experience as admission officer, I was the admission officer for this polytechnic for more than 11 years.
Wow.
So I travel all over the country. I've been part of the decision making. I was part of the policy, and there are two arms that was in charge of admission then. The technical committee and the policy work. The highest ruling body is the policy making. So my experience there has shown that students of 16 years, they perform very, very well. So when I heard that they want to change it, they want to
Bring it down.
bring it up that the minimum age limit should be 18. I was so disturbed. Okay, let us look at it logically.
Okay.
If a student starts at the age of 5, primary school,
Yes.
forget about pre-nursery and this, let's say from primary school, 5 plus 5,
5, that's
okay,
10 years, yes.
Then 6 years
6
in
years in secondary.
in secondary
That's
school.
16.
So by 16, if you sit for your JAM now and you pass it,
right.
they are now saying you should
Wait
till
2 years.
An idle hand will be a workshop.
Yeah.
So, and especially this time that they want to introduce that kind of thing. In the past, it can work. During our time, you have the opportunity of doing higher education, higher school start HSC or A level, go to NCE, go to college. But now they are saying the minimum age limit for you to enter tertiary institutions, not university. And then they say, okay, to university. Some people will go and do HSC, higher school certificate. Okay. By then, those of us that attended higher school certificate, by the time we enter university, we were matured. Even before I got to know that I was in university, I was in 300 level for a 400, because most of the things they are teaching us, I have learned it. So that is logically. Yeah. So now, analytically, if you are saying, because if you want to come out with a policy that will affect our future, that's the youth.
The youth, the future of tomorrow. Yes, that's
so if we want to go into that, they should conduct serious analysis. Okay. If you want to say maybe those of the social crises that are taking place in the institution are because of their immaturity or because of their age. Now let us look at it. Let them come. Get report. They should carry all the stakeholders
along.
Do a thorough research. Let the tertiary institutions come out that, okay, the cases of these cultist activities that we recorded here, the age range is between below 18. That is why. Or those that are involved in all these indecent activities now. So that should be, they should come out to convince us that, okay, this is. No, it is a very good thing. And I thank the present government. When they introduce a policy, they listen to public opinion. They get the feedback. Yes. They take. They did the needful. I think our president take charge.
Yes.
Like you see what he did in case of these minimum wage issues.
Yes, and the student loan too.
So that is why I believe this thing will take effect from next year. That's 2025. I know before that time they must have consulted widely so that they'll be able to.
Other schools. Yes.
Oh, with that, because as an economist, I'm an economist by background. You have to be analytical in whatever you want to say. Let us use this very institution as an example. Somebody like Islamia Olojede, Okeke, and the rest of them that are the best. The guy is doing PhD directly now. What age did she get into ND for her ND? She was around 16. So I didn't mean she was denied of the right of
get the admission at that time. Maybe they asked her to wait for 2 years.
The same thing. Okay, we have a lot of them. Go through some other institutions. So that is why I believe that it is just an attempt. And before the next time, I think.
Okay, sir. So in the speculation of this, by your judgment, I see that you're like, okay, age should not be a barrier for like students that are quite ready. That
it should not be like a major factor
for them not to enter
institution.
So I have a question, sir. What about, we also know that institutions are a social place, not academic alone. We get involved in social activities, interacting and stuff like that. So do you think for a 16-year-old that all their life have been academics, just imagine entering primary school at the age of 5, finishing at the age of 10, then going into secondary school, then immediately you're done with secondary school, there is no even room for like, okay, little experience in other things also. Aside if the person like attends like maybe a certain kind of school that just like breeds them in the right manner. So for a 16-year-old person that doesn't have any kind of experience, or anything, do you think they're actually strong enough to survive in higher institution? Because higher institution is also a social institution. So aside academics, for every child's success, it can be awarded to academic, but also social aspect too plays an important role.
Yes, in the mental development.
Yes.
Of
so do you think concerning like socially and mentally, do you think a 16-year-old is actually like ready fit
for institution life? I believe.
Yes.
You know, we are in a computer age.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Right now. A 16-year-old candidate or student, we have seen in the past, presently at ND level now, we have a lot of, even some below 16. They have been coping.
Yes. Okay,
so it depends on individual's background. That is the more reason we parents at home, we should not leave everything in the hands of the teachers.
Yes, sir.
You should be counseling your kids, so that by the time a 16-year-old, with the rate at which our kids are maturing now, a 16-year-old kids is no more a kid.
It's not my kid. Yes.
It's not my kid, because they will tell you what you don't even know.
Yes.
So I don't think that they will not be socially they will. Although some people may like to take advantage of their age. But before they leave home, you should be guiding them. So that when you get there, we should let our kids be our partner. Let them be free to talk to us, so that by the time they get here, they must have acquired the necessary experience.
All right. So just a quick one before we round up this segment. I just wanted to ask, concerning the age, like you said that, some people out there might want to take advantage of the young age of these kids getting to school. And we know that Federal Polytechnic Ilaro, under the administration of our amiable, wonderful rector, Dr. Mukaile Akinde, we know that he's a man that is dedicated to the life and well-being of the students. So are there any maybe like opportunities like therapy, counseling put in place that these young folks know that, if something is happening that is not right, I can actually go and talk to a professional personnel that can actually help me with certain things that I am, going through.
Moyi, or what's the name?
Moyi, yes.
In fact, I am highly happy for you to have even asked that kind of question, because this is an avenue where we can showcase what we have on the campus. There are a lot of places.
Okay.
The person sitting before you now, I'm a deputy registrar in charge of special duty, and under special duty, we have guidance and counseling.
Wow. Oh.
We have Saficon. The Saficon is not only meant for the teachers, for the lecturer, it's for students. Oh. Last year, we had a kind of orientation for the representative of students to tell them the function of Saficon. Saficon is about efficient service delivery from all quarters, all segments of this polytechnic. For instance, last week when some people came, they complained about the kind of reception they see at the bakery. So we waded in, at least. So in the nutshell, students on this campus, especially the present regime of Dr. Mukaile Akinde, they are trying very, very well, to the extent that every department has their own counselor. They have counselors. So, and coincidentally, I'm also a member of the Polytechnic Counseling.
Wow, that's just wonderful.
So there are a lot of places in which they can go on this campus. We have the guidance and counseling unit very close to Mr. Biala's office there, the upstairs there.
Yeah,
please help us inform people so then the Saficom is at the main car park at the East Campus there. That is directly opposite audit. The Saficom are there. If you have anything, complaints, come to us there. You see, most of the time you see some set of people that are mandatory lecturers coming to the class. They are our staff. They are open to you. If you have complaint, come to us as a father. We will.
You listen.
So the present rector is doing fantastically well on this, because most of those things that are happening can be avoided if they have proper counseling, if they know where to go to.
Yes.
So the Saficon is there. The alumni matter is also under my jurisdictions too. So
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Well, students, you've already heard first that if you have certain issues that you want to take up with the administration, it could be concerning your fellow students, it could be concerning lecturers, anything in general, you could go to the Savicom department. If there's something that is bothering you and you want to talk with somebody, you can go to the Guardians Counseling Department. This present administration has made everything super easy, am I right? And available for us. So do not deny yourself. It is your right. These are the things that you're paying for, am I right? So it is your right. Don't deny yourself of these rights to enjoy certain things. These people are here to serve us, right? Exactly. They are here to serve us. They are here to make sure that our stay on campus is as nice and comfortable and as stress-free as possible. So if you want to talk to anybody, the Guardians Counseling Unit is there beside Mr. Abiola's office, as you said. So if you can go there. I believe that people are ready and they're there to help and assist students as well. So it was a really wonderful one. I mean, there are some of the things you said that I didn't even know myself, especially the Savicom. I had no idea, and I would definitely be taking advantage of that. So students, you remember that you have all of these facilities at the tip of your fingers, and you can actually reach out to them. And I believe that for the Guardians, I believe it's anonymous. You can pour out your desires.
Definitely, yes.
Even we have boxes all over the
all
places.
Over. So you can write.
Complaint box.
Complaint
yes, I've
boxes.
seen those around Pavilion.
Yes, so you can pour out your heart, talk,
and very soon we
do more
of it so that you can.
So that's that's a really wonderful initiative, right? So
yes.
Yeah.
So all parents out there, your 15-year-old or 16-year-old is safe with us at Federal Polytechnic Ilaro.
Exactly. We have people that have their interest at heart, starting from the rector himself. He has the interest at heart, and also looking at our amiable Mr. Odesade right here as well. He also has the students' interest as art. You understand? So we're really, really grateful, that you're here on the show with us today. We're so thankful that you came to join us, and that you also enlightened us. It was really wonderful. I had so much fun. I learned a lot of things, especially the Savicom. I'm
going to make good
use of it, and even the complaint boxes. So, because things can't always run as smoothly, there'll be a little checks and balances, and it's up to us as students to also, say a couple of things that we're going to. We're really grateful that we called you and you honored us on the show. So we are really, really grateful. And before we do sign off, we'll take a quick break and then come back around the show. But this is the last segment, so we'll be inviting a person. So we're really grateful.
Thank you, Abibat.
Yes, sir.
And
Moyolua. Yes, thank you.
You are doing a beautiful job.
Thank you very much. I mean, it's courtesy of our rector. Courtesy of our rector.
Thank you, rector.
Thank you.
Emphasis on my department.
Yes. Thank you very much. And with that, we'll go on a quick break. And when we're back, we will be signing off on the show. So let's go for that. We'll be right back. And welcome back. It is your show, Poly TV show. We've had an amazing time on the show today.
It is quite interesting.
Oh, it was fun. It was back-to-back entertainment, back-to-back informative, educative as well. I mean, it was beautiful. What is your highlight segment? One segment that was it for you? That was an highlight.
I feel like it was a newspaper review because I got to get the gist in every aspect to Labour Party, the education, the cut-off mark, and also the last segment with Mr. Odetola.
Oh yes,
enlightened us. Because do you remember in the beginning at the front paper review when we were 16, why would they bring? And also talking about the cut-off mark, Mr. Biala made us know that it is just like a minimum barest, just showing us the last belt.
So you felt like everything that we discussed, it was like a build-up. Because from the front page review, we had the headlines, and then from the agenda, and then to the guests, it was connected. It was really wonderful. The playout of today's show was amazing. I'd have to say that my favorite as well had to be having Dr. Esra Mohammed on the show today. It was wonderful to get from him. An international man, to hear of the success rate, to hear of the beautiful things that Paul International College has got going, to hear of how committed and dedicated the rector actually is to the growth of all students. That was beautiful to hear. I also loved having Mr. BJ Odetune, of course. I mean, we already know that we now have the Savicom and the Guardians Counseling units that are available and there to listen to our complaint. And the complaint box. Make use of the complaint box.
I will make use of it.
Make use of it.
Definitely.
Well, I mean, if you have a lot of things to get off your chest, you can make use of that.
Just go and visit the guardians counselor.
Yes,
And
yes.
also, there was a part I was quite excited about with Mr. Biela when it comes to the agro sector.
The agro sector.
When it comes to the food aspect.
The food.
Emphasis on when he said the effort 30 of 100 naira.
I mean, that was
expecting.
wonderful. And
That was quite nice.
while everything on the show was not all rosy, because we did have a
tragic
sad news,
incident,
a tragic news on the news flash segment. And that also brings me back to the guardians counseling. If there is anything as students that you want to talk about, that you want to discuss, anything that you're going through, anything that's like essentially weighing you down, and you want to talk to somebody about it, the guardians counseling unit is there for you. You could write out your letter, your grievances, put them in the complaint box, put a way to contact you through it, and you have a counselor, a licensed therapist, a licensed counselor to talk to you and have everything sorted. All in all, today's program was information packed as per usual, educative as per usual, entertaining.
Very entertaining.
Mr. Abiala was one entertaining person. Yes. It was wonderful to have him on the show, and yeah, it was really beautiful. We also had the conversation of the SU. We mentioned the trade fair. We mentioned the finals cup, the rack day, which I believe that the trade fair and the cup, we should be available. So if you guys want to see us, you know,
especially on that trade fair,
come around.
Yes.
I don't hesitate to say hi or to, you know, say anything. But are there any parting words that you'd like to give our wonderful viewers today?
Well, my parting word is that in case you're going through anything emotionally, please, let's do well to speak out. Because even in the education sector, we've also learned today that your emotions is quite important. So please speak up to the guidance counselor or speak up to someone who can help.
And while we also, you know, I would like back you up on that as well, what you said, but I'm also much more on that school is not just for the fun, you know, happy-go-lucky side. You also have to face your academics, you also have to face your books. I know that the SU week is fast approaching and it can be a little bit scary, overwhelming, exhilarating, but do well to, you know, face your studies, do well to make sure that you are reading, and as much as you're having fun, as much as you know, I mean, it's a fun thing, but as much as you're having fun, ensure that you do not forget the reason why you are here in school. And with that, we will be wrapping up on the show. That is the end of the show.
So sad.
The show has come to an end today, but of course, remember that we will be right back on the same channel, on the same station next week. So you guys don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to turn on the post notification bell.
Follow. Make
sure that you turn the notification bell to be notified each time we post and drop a new video. Make sure to share across every social media platform. You share to your family, your friends, everywhere. Okay, make sure you share. That's the only way that you can keep watching and listening to us. And with that, we say goodbye. My name is Moyoluwa Enitelo,
and I'm Abibat Ryan.
Goodbye.